Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today the pleasure of going through the 24 Crosstrek Onyx in the Sapphire Blue with you guys. So this is one trim level under the Limited, so it's a step above the Touring. I would say this is higher end, mid to high end. Onyx, you get some aesthetics on the outside. Those yellow fog light surrounds are one of the big tells. And of course the Crosstrek did get a redesign for this year. Updated exterior, interior, platform, all of that good stuff. New, more hexagonal honeycomb shaped grille. We've got black metallic wings that lead into the smaller, more aggressively styled headlights. And those headlights, regardless of the trim level, from base to absolute full load, LED steering responsive with high beam assist. So pretty high up there. As I'd mentioned, the yellow fog lights, as they are, LED fog lights, which is really nice. And something notable about the Onyx, and I think this is where it adds a whole bunch of value, especially over the Touring, you get the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. So 182 horsepower versus the 152 that you find in the standard Crosstrek, and 30 more horsepower in a vehicle of this size. Pretty darn significant, especially on hills. It's a great amount of power. Now, we do also get 18-inch black painted wheels on the Onyx, regardless of the exterior color of the car. You get the black wheels, you get the black painted mirror caps with the integrated turn signals. And this has 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, so more than your average half-ton pickup. You'll go all the places you need to, probably some more places than you really need to. And of course, Subaru's full-time legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive. Best all-wheel drive system in the world. My favorite view of the Crosstrek, rear 3/4 view. I absolutely love these new taillights for the 24 Crosstreks. I love how they wrap around the car, and I think it's the right amount of black and red. It's not too much of either. I think it's broken up nicely. Fuel door, rear passenger side, push to open. If your driver door is locked, the pin shoots out, locks in there. Driver door is unlocked, fuel door is unlocked. Really easy to use, which is nice. The Onyx is the first trim level in the lineup that offers backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper. That's what those little circles are. And they'll apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something in reverse between the speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. We've got a black strip between the taillights there. That is exclusive to the Onyx. Obviously, if you have a black car, you are not gonna notice that. But on all the other cars, it does stand out. Lighter colors, a little bit more so than the darker. Now, there's way more room back here than people expect. Privacy cover. This is the first trim level where you get a privacy cover from factory. And this is easy to remove. It's just a telescopic piece. It actually gives you the little pictogram right there, the arrow. Halogen cargo light. That'll shut off when I close the hatch, or if you don't like it on at all, you can just shut it off. We have grocery bag hooks on either side. Hooks down below, and you can get a cargo net accessory that ties into those in addition to tying into your hard mount physical tie downs up front. We do have cup/bottle holders on both sides for tailgating. Yes, that's actually what they're for. That's per Subaru when I was at training. Spare tire and tools, eye bolt for recovery. Hopefully none of you ever need to use those. And Subaru's done some really nice touches, things like the mountain motif, little Crosstrek Easter egg in there. On the inside of the hatch, you've got, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but it does say Subaru right here. Nice little touches. Now, no power liftgate. You can get an accessory handle for these, but it's an easy close hatch. Something I didn't really show you. To open it, I just line up my finger with these two stars, the bottom stars, and it's just a rubber switch. We do also have pin code right there. You can set a pin so you can lock your key in the car or access the inside of the Crosstrek when you don't have your key with you. I'll include the video link on how to do that in the video description. But yeah. And this blue, the camera's not doing it justice. There's a little bit of purple in here. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And much like the storage area, there's way more second row passenger room than people expect. Got lots of headroom, lots of leg room. All of the Onyxes have the light and dark gray two-tone cloth with the Caltrops pattern, in addition to the yellow bolstering. And I don't think that the camera's doing the yellow any favors. I think it's much nicer in person. Lots of room. Taller people fit back here comfortably. Fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. Flips right up. We've got 2 USBs for charging, keep everyone connected on longer trips. We've got a map back pocket on the rear of the front passenger seat. Easy access to the latch system. The lower anchors, tethers for children. Now, this is textured and, mountain motif. keeping the theme true. But that is designed to be used as a step if you're loading something on the roof rails, if you get crossbars. And they want you to stand on that instead of on the tire because one, the tire sits inside the fender, so you're not gonna get as much of your foot on it. So standing, I don't have as much of my foot on there as I could as if I were to stand here. I get way better purchase right there than there. And two, if I'm standing up here, I am dead ahead of me is right at the back of the rail system. I'll be leaning and I could put myself in a precarious situation. Rear door card, hard touch light in dark gray plastic, soft touch armrest with the yellow stitching, power window switch, and then there's a little bit of storage with a bottle holder there. We do have easy to use child locks. Now, I do get asked about that little black slot. That is what this extra side impact crash safety bar ties into, and it's designed to help reduce chance of intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but that is a satisfying thud. Nice solid sound when you close the doors. I'm a big fan of that. So I find that some newer vehicles, when you close them, it vibrates, sounds like a tin can. Luckily, none of the Subarus do that. Front door card, very, very similar looking to the rear door card, except this is soft touch. The door card is soft touch in addition to the armrest. Still have the contrast stitching. The front two power windows, front driver, front passenger, they're auto, so one touch down and one touch up. Of course, there is a setting where I can just stop it at any point and up at any point. Totally easy to use. Regular power windows for the rear, window lock, power mirror adjustment, and there is a little bit more storage there along with the bottle holder, and it is quite a large bottle holder. Front seat, this is the first trim level where you get your power driver seat, including lumbar. Lumbar is a first in the Crosstrek in this model year. So that is nice. And these seats are the same cloth material up front as it is in the second row. And the Subaru put a lot of work into these. These are designed to reduce fatigue over longer driving distances. And I have to say, I've done a couple 8-hour road trips in them, and I would say that they keep you very well rested, less fatigued after the end of a long day of driving. This is also the first trim level where we get our tilt and slide sunroof. By the driver's left knee, we have a scroll wheel for the brightness of your gauges. And we do get the aluminum pedal covers with the rubber grippies in the Onyx. Nice little touch. Now, I have had some people question if those are gonna be slick when your feet are wet or if you get snow on your boots, something like that. I can't say that I've had anyone come back and say that they have. I think those rubber grippies are more than adequate. Inside Crosstrek, steering wheel. We've got our yellow contrast stitching, gray, highlight, it'll be anodized copper in the Wilderness trim. So they've kind of gotten away. It's not quite as intense as the Sport Forester was previously. Steering wheel adjustment, bottom left of the steering column, hook your thumb, pull down. It is going to be stiff. We've got tilt and telescopic, so you can adjust it to exactly how you like to sit and then lock it back in place. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have the ability to switch from AM to FM to USB to Bluetooth, etc. through the source button. Switch songs or presets. This used to be volume. That now changes our small little center display on our yellow rimmed gauges, which is again exclusive to the Onyx. Nice little touch, they're tying it all together. We've got the ability to issue voice commands, access Google Assistant or Siri. We've got the ability to hang up, decline, or mute, answer phone calls. Volume's a nice left to right toggle, and it's satisfying. There's a nice physical feedback touch to that. It does make a satisfying click. I don't know if my mic's picking that up, but it is quite nice. Right hand side is pretty much driving assist. We've got adaptive cruise, we have lane centering. Both of those use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. They're also responsible for automatic emergency braking, and Subaru has made it so you can't accidentally touch the lenses. They put the border, the frame for the cameras up to the glass. Don't worry, they are not attached to the glass. It does not make changing a windshield any more difficult for an installer in that regard, but it's great. You can't touch them. They've made them better. Third one here adds a wider field of view for the cameras, and actually field of view. Let's just give it a shoulder check here. Good visibility in a small vehicle. That is something that Subaru's been known for a long time, is visibility, which is nice. But anyways, the adaptive cruise, when I turn on the cruise, I get an image of the Crosstrek, or I get the bars in front of the Crosstrek, I get the little cruise icon. And you'll notice there's 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise control. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. So if you catch up, you're going 110, catch up to someone going 105K an hour, you'll slow down to 105, you'll follow them. They slow down, you'll slow down with them, and you'll get a little closer. Now, if you want to follow closer, you just decrease and you can pretty much ride their bumper. It will bring you to a stop, but I don't recommend that because that's pretty darn close to their bumper. And then you set cruise by pulling down after you get to the speed you want. Lane centering. Now you'll notice the steering wheel's right there. If I turn off cruise, everything disappears. Cruise has to be turned on, but does not have to be set for lane centering to work. It works more aggressively when cruise control is set though. Now, above 60 kilometers an hour, if the cameras can see the road lines, they'll illuminate those gray lines white on the corresponding side. Above 60. That's what it's used for. It's not for around town. And when it does that, when it sees that, it'll actually give you gentle steering input to help keep you in the middle of your lane. Way less fatigued at the end of a long day of driving. Pair that with Subaru's amazing seats and you're well rested after a day of driving, which is nice. Intelligent and sport drive modes. Intelligence, what it defaults to. Sport, you go faster sooner. It's more spirited driving. You need to pass, click that, away you go. And you can see that yellow line's definitely a little bit more aggressive than the blue intelligent line. All important, heated steering wheel. There's a faint orange light that comes on when it's activated. Gets hands nice and toasty. We do have paddles, upshift and downshift on the back of the steering wheel. We can manually select our own gears, even with the automatic CVT, which is nice. We've got an 11.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It's in pretty much all of the Subarus now, except for the entry-level ones. And top portion here, we have X mode, and this is the first trim level where you get dual function X mode. So we've got snow and dirt, and we have deep snow and mud. Deep snow and mud also turns off. Traction control allows you to chew yourself out of that situation. Now it's kind of like 4 low in Subaru's world, so you have to be going under 20 to engage and it kicks out at 40 and above. Got widgets, gauges, which we can change around. If you've watched any of my other videos, I always change them to the same ones. We've got what we're listening to. Main portion of the screen, that's kind of, I just call this whole centerpiece the main portion. Volume and physical tuning knobs, which are nice. Radio, media, and phone are fairly self-explanatory. Media is anything that isn't in the car, so anything Bluetooth connection, USB, auxiliary, that sort of thing. Under apps, we have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. You do get a 3-month trial to Sirius XM radio, and that comes with the travel link. When I put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensor's on, shows you the top of the bumper there. So you have something to relate to, and you can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle. You just twist and hold this towards yourself, the end of the wiper stock. So it's not as good as having an actual wiper on it, but it's way better than it not being able to see out of it at all. You can double up on the My Subaru access. Car info brings you driving statistics, angles. You can set maintenance reminders. You can turn off the display if you don't like it. And then there's a second page. You can add additional shortcuts if you want. Down below, this little open envelope, that's always the home button. That always takes you to the main screen. We can disable the auto start stop if you don't like that. You can enable auto vehicle hold from the main screen now. So that's a brake holder for construction, drive through, rush hour traffic. Great for large urban places, you know, Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, that sort of thing. If we go under vehicle, gives us vehicle control, driving assistance, and more settings. Lots of things you can customize in here. You can hook up to 5 phones in total to the vehicle for Bluetooth. Only can actually be connected, but you can have 5 phones registered in it. You can set driver profiles should you wish. And then we have our climate controls on the bottom here. And we do have physical buttons up and down, and it goes up and down in 0.5 degree increments. So super easy to use. Big fan strength buttons, hard to miss. Or we can click and just brings up the temperature. We can click, we can drag, we can sync it back to driver control. Really easy to use, control where you want your airflow, if you want to recirc, if you want AC on, there's lots of choice. Now, if I leave that alone, that'll actually disappear on its own, which is nice. We have the ability to just focus climate on the front or throughout the entire cab. Below that, there's 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a 10-watt wireless fast charger. So your phone is gonna get warm while fast charging. That's normal, don't be alarmed. Automatic CVT, we're in drive. We have manual mode where you use the shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel. And we have this nice synthetic shift boot. And I actually quite like this material and I like the stitching with it. I know that's something small to be talking about, but I like it. I like the small details that Subaru has included. Park brake, you pull up to activate. And if my foot's not on the brake and I push down, it actually tells me to press the brake. So foot on the brake, push down, off it comes. Heated seat switches are physical in the Crosstrek. If you leave them on and remote start it from the app, they'll turn on. It's nice. Get into a nice warm car with warm seats. Cup holders are offset and they've got drink raisers. So if you drink short drinks, small drinks, if you don't have this, it's gonna sit down there. You may just be able to grab the lid and end up spilling your drink on you. This raises it a little bit. And you could even really double up if you had a really short drink if you wanted. But it is nice to have that ability to change that. We've got our 12-volt power point for any charging needs. A little bit of storage there. Soft touch armrest, which is nice, really soft touch. And then there's a lot of storage in there. No power points, but there is a place to run cords out of. So if you put a power bank or something in there, it is handy. You're not crushing it when you put the armrest down. Up top, we've got SOS and roadside assistance. That's part of your 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. We've got our map lights. We've got our sunroof controls, and it is a tilt and slide sunroof. Manual shade. On the sun visor, we have vanity mirror with light. I could bring it over to the side, and I do have an extender if the sun's directly at my left. The passenger has it if the sun is directly at their right. Makes it easier on your eyes in the long run. That is the quick look at the 2024 Crosstrek Onyx. 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and it has the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. Smallest, most compact crossover that Subaru offers. Also the most popular vehicle in the lineup because it meets the majority of people's needs. And they're an absolute blast to drive. It's like driving a street legal go-kart. One of my favorite vehicles in the lineup to drive, and I absolutely love the aesthetics of them. So thank you for watching my quick walkthrough of the 24 Crosstrek Onyx in the Sapphire Blue. If you guys have any questions about this car here behind me, any of the tech in it, any of the vehicles or tech in our lineup, put it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And if you're in British Columbia looking for a Subaru or willing to make the trip to British Columbia to pick up a Subaru, new or used, please reach out to me directly. I would love to help you find the perfect vehicle for you. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk soon.